Mr. Donald Trump shocked everybody when he said that, he was elected essentially because people were not happy with Joe Biden's stand in Israel-Gaza conflict, the way he was supporting Israel, blatantly giving money, arms, and even military personnel towards the end. And therefore, Trump came to power because people thought that he would bring peace, and he did bring peace, but at what cost? After his victory, he reveals that he would like Gaza to be vacated and Palestinians living in Gaza to be shifted to Jordan and Egypt, and he wanted to develop Gaza as a piece of real estate, providing jobs, an idea which was comprehensively rejected by not only the Palestinians, which is quite understandable, but also Egypt and Jordan. I don't think, except for the United States and Israel, any other country even took it seriously. We thought that the days of physical imperialism were over, and it was only economic imperialism that the Western powers were now interested in. But Trump wants to go back to the days of imperialism. Now, following upon that, he has also done something which is quite reactionary, I would say, in the Russia-Ukraine war. United States and the European Union was supporting Ukraine against in the war against Russia. Russia was seen as an aggressor. It's a different matter that Russia was provoked into the war because the United States, led by Joe Biden, and the European countries of the European Union, who were part of the NATO alliance, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, wanted Ukraine to be a member of NATO, and thus NATO would have arrived right at the border of Russia, which was not a very happy situation for Russia, and therefore Russia attacked Ukraine. So it's something similar to what happened in Gaza and Israel, because one of the main reasons why Hamas attacked Israel was because Saudi Arabia and Arab countries were moving too close to Israel, and it was not acceptable to Hamas. And after the Hamas's attack, at least it was able to achieve the objective of keeping the Arab nations, at a safe distance from Israel. They did not enter into the kind of agreements that they were going to had this attack not taken place. So similarly here, it was Ukraine which was becoming a threat for Russia, and therefore Russia attacked Ukraine so that Ukraine would not become part of NATO. And also there is a pending Russian grievance that there are parts of Ukraine which are Russia speaking, and Russia thinks that they should be part of Russia. So there was also an expansionist design in this attack, and Russia wanted to conquer these areas. But to give the credit to Ukraine, just like we have given to Gaza, the Hamas, which valiantly fought against a powerful enemy and has survived. So Ukraine also has survived the battle, and in both cases, Israel and Russia were expecting that they would be able to vanquish their opposition in no time and would emerge victorious, but it didn't happen in either case. Now, United States, in the case of Israel and Gaza, was siding with the powerful side, and therefore the entire world, most of the third world, the developing nations, were against the US stand, even though the European nations were with the US. But in the war between Russia and Ukraine, most of the European nations and United States were with Ukraine. that is, they were supporting the weaker side, and they were opposing the aggressor. They were helping Ukraine with arms and other kind of things needed to fight the war, and it was seen as a just support for the war against Russia. But with Trump coming to power, he has done the same thing that the United States was doing in the West Asia, that is supporting the stronger side. Trump has aligned himself with Russia, who is seen as the aggressor. European Union, fortunately, is still continues to stand with Ukraine, with Zelenskyy, and the manner in which Zelenskyy was called to the White House, and the way in which he has been humiliated in front of TV cameras. Normally such dialogues do not take place in front of TV cameras. They are usually closed door meetings, but it is surprising that such a meeting was televised, and Zelenskyy was humiliated in front of the world. But to give credit to Zelenskyy, he stood on his principles. He refused to cow down to the United States, and he answered them back. And all the bullying which the United States was doing, it was not successful in making Zelenskyy surrender. And Zelenskyy has been called a dictator. He has been called as the reason of the war. Trump says that he would like to negotiate with somebody else in Ukraine so that peace is brought. But the people of Ukraine are quite happy with their president. They, in fact, are proud of him that he has not given in to the US pressure, just like the Hamas leadership has not given in to the US and Israeli pressure. And Zelenskyy has come out as a hero in front of the rest of the world. The United States may have a different opinion on him. They may think that he is selfish, he is ungrateful for all the aid that United States has given to Ukraine to fight the war against Russia during Biden's time. But he doesn't think so. For him, sovereignty of his country is more important, and he is willing to fight for it and stake everything for his dignity. It is good that the European Union is at least standing with him, and the rest of the world should stand with him in this fight against Russia. And Russia and United States need to be isolated. But what is important to note is that now the United States can no longer claim to be fighting for democracy and human rights, because whereas it was completely involved with Israel in violating the human rights and dignity of the Palestinians, at least in Ukraine, there was a saving grace. They were with the weaker side, but after Trump coming to power, the United States is blatantly supporting the aggressor and is no longer with the side which has been attacked, and therefore it's a true face of a hegemon has been exposed. The way they treated Zelenskyy in Washington DC, it is shameful. I mean, how can you, just because you are the head of the most powerful country, choose to humiliate another head of the state? And that too in the midst of fighting. I mean, he is fighting for the last 3 years to save his country, his people. He is maintaining his dignity all the while. He is not compromising on his principles, and he is receiving the support of most of the countries in the world. But it is shameful that United States at this point has decided to betray Ukraine and And the kind of proposals that the United States is offering to Ukraine are shameful, and no self-respecting leader would ever agree to them. So we, as part of the Socialist Party India, and I think also the people of India and the government should also support Ukraine in this war against Russia. The peace should be brought, but peace cannot be brought at the cost of the dignity of Ukrainians. I mean, the Ukrainians are self-respecting people. They are fighting for their survival, for their existence, and that must be ensured in any kind of peace deal with Russia. Thank you so much.